The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
Live and learn.
67 episodes in.
67 episodes in. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this week's show.
So before
yeah.
we start, I do
Okay.
want to address the audio, though, because I did have people hitting me up about it.
Uh-huh.
So the last 3 guest episodes, we apologize about the audio.
Yeah.
It was tolerable, but it was not great.
That's a really good way to put it, because like when I was reviewing them, I had to take it in little chunks, just because like I guess for like a casual listener, they're like, oh, that kind of sounds weird, but they'll deal with it. But
Yeah.
since we do this, and it's like it was like I'm like I gotta take this in small chunks because it's bugging the crap out of me.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me to even just like I'm like, well, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried a couple different things, and then but.
It's okay.
Well,
Thanks for watching them. They were fun. And that's what I kind of, the conclusion that I came to every single time is like, okay, it's annoying, but the content is too good.
Yes.
You can't recreate those conversations. You just have to just kind of bear with it to get the goodness of those talks.
Yeah. It's not like you could come back out. I mean, you could come back out and we could do all 3 of those over again, but it wasn't bad enough to where we couldn't put them out. So
Yeah. Wait, we're just 2 dudes trying to make it in this world.
Now we're audio engineers.
And now we're audio. Yeah. It's all good though. But here we are. We're back sitting in this configuration because the last 3 episodes were on the road.
Yep.
And that was a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun doing that. And like we were talking, it's like not only was it fun to like do the episodes and have those conversations, but it's actually fun to like go through the process, like travel to these places, set up the equipment, get ready, do the podcast, tear it down, go somewhere else, do another podcast. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was. I enjoyed it. Quite a bit. And we're going to do it again.
Mm-hmm. We are
in September. So
yeah, you're coming out here.
Yeah, it was really nice to like not record for a couple weeks.
It was a nice break. I have to admit, it was a nice break.
And even moving forward, like we're obviously going to keep doing this, but there's going to be a time when we're just like, okay, we don't like literally. We were supposed to record this last week, and I was just like, I have nothing to talk about.
I know.
Like I have things in the works, but I'm like, this would be way better if we did it next week when I have things to like conversate about. Because I was like, hey, there's nothing. So there is one podcast I listen to, and every they do it more often, but like they just took a month off. And they're like, all right, this is our last episode. We'll be back in a month. And I'm like, oh, that might be a thing, like moving like in 2024. Like,
yeah. The only like scary part about that is like when you know how it is. It's like a slippery slope, and you're like,
no, because it's different with podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have a podcast, you subscribe to it on your thing, and then you just don't think about it. And it's not like they're gonna unsubscribe from it.
That's
because they're just listening to other podcasts, and then when it comes back, they'll just be like, oh, and they'll be even more excited.
That's true.
Is. It's better than just like having crappy conversations. It's like a refreshing thing. So like, yeah, and honestly, I don't care. I don't care if people are like, oh, you took a month off. You lost listeners. Good, bye. Like, see you later. I don't care. Yeah. I'm so sick of conforming to like, and this goes back to like the show coverage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to conform to what the expectations of others are.
Right.
This is what I want to do, what we want to do. So I don't want to like be like, oh, we have to, except for the teasers, Frank.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. It's been a week.
You don't think it's been a week for me?
No, I know everybody. It's been a week for everybody. It's not unique to me.
I know. We just have to. You have to do them when you're reviewing them because they're right there.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. Just go to file, new, create new sequence. Now you have 2 sequences, and you just clip, copy that section, and drag it into the new sequence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give it a try.
You can have you can have as many timelines. You can have 10 timelines open at one time.
Right.
You don't have to have
but
one.
they're in different tabs, right? So you have to just tab over.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and all you got to do is highlight. Like if you clipped out a portion, you highlight it and drag it up to the tab, and it opens that tab, and you drop it in there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that's all you do.
It's funny how little shortcuts like help out and work out like that. Like I didn't know that. Like sometimes you and I'll be talking, and you'll be like, "Yeah, when you just do this or press this button," I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm the same way. I didn't even know that. I knew you could have different sequences open. And for anyone listening, we're talking about our editing program,
right? That
we edit videos in. I didn't know that until I was editing all the C10 videos that I could drag up into the tab and drop them. Because what I would do is I would have like all the main footage, and then any footage I didn't want to use, I would take it to the end of the timeline, and like it would be there. And so I created a tab called extra footage.
Oh, okay.
And I would take and drag all the extra footage in that, so it wasn't on my timeline. So I knew if I needed something, I just open that. It's like multiple tabs in your browser.
Yeah. No. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, give it a try.
Yeah, because I know it sucks. Like after you review it, going back and listening to it again to like.
The only thing that like I was running into, and this is like getting real in the weeds about all this, was like sometimes when because I reviewed it in Premiere. And I made some timestamps for, adding different things. And you're like, oh, that was off by like 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And so, I don't know. That's why I just reverted back to watching it, through the iMovie or whatever it is. And then, I don't know.
Oh, it was only off. It was only off by that because you didn't have it at the beginning of the timeline.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
So you had to start like in Premiere. It goes 0. It starts at 0 in the timeline. But you had the files. You had you just dropped it in and it was moved over.
Oh, I see.
So you have to like, when you go to ripple delete, like you right click and ripple delete 2 clips together. You just go to the beginning of the timeline, ripple delete it to the 0.
Oh, I look at it in the little review window, and I watch it in there. And then I don't know. We're getting in the weeds, man. We're back sitting here.
We were never gone.
Talking. No, we were never gone. But now we're back doing this.
The FaceTime.
The FaceTime thing, which is good. Yeah. So you didn't have anything I had a lot of stuff to talk about actually.
We'll start with you because you were first. So like say about Neptunes Net, right?
Actually, yeah. First of all, started with a club pool party.
Okay.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. We do our annual club pool party at Rob's house, which Rob is the president of the SoCal chapter. Yeah. Which is the Moreno Valley chapter because technically, San Diego. Anyway, it was at Rob's house. It was a lot of fun. Always getting together with everybody. We got I don't know how to describe them. We have a couple new guys, but not new guys who used to be in the club. Now hanging out, which was really fun. So it's cool because I really didn't know them that well. So it was fun to hang out with them, get to know them a little bit better,
Which is interesting because when these were, so you have Will Gerke, who was in the club back in the day. And then life happened and he just kind of did his thing. And now he got a truck and he's been slow. And I don't know if you follow him on Instagram or not, but you should.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, so he built that truck in his garage by himself.
I remember because I actually met him at Unfinished Business. Yes. And we were talking for a while, and he was like telling me about his truck. And yeah, he built that whole thing at his pad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see him driving it now, and like it's just like I mean, built it to the point of like rebuilding the motor. And that motor is not a 350. That motor is like a weird Chevy motor that came in a truck. Like he didn't go and take it's like a 287 or one of those oddball motors, and he kept that in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, he just kind of got back into it. So,
which we've discussed before in the whole like club thing is like sometimes it works out like that. Sometimes you're really heavily involved, and then life happens, and you go do your life, and then you come back, and here is everybody still doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that's like why I don't ever believe in like kicking people out. Like, oh, you're not active, so like, it's just like. It is what it is. Yeah. You do your thing and then the club will still be there. when you're ready to come back and do car things.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what happened. So it was cool hanging out with them. And
We got to shout out Mike Gallego too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another old member. It's weird because it seems like you've been in the club
Mike and Will.
Yeah, Will and Matt, or Mike and Matt.
Mike and Matt. Yeah.
It's just funny because like you've been in the club a long time now,
mm-hmm.
and to have people come that were before you.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It really dates everything.
It does. Kind of puts everything into perspective too. Kind of, talking about things because little Brian has hung around, here and there, but he's kind of hanging out more. So to hear the stories of like the early 2000s, Forbidden Fantasy is always really cool. You digging up the footage of, little Brian doing burnouts in his van and stuff. And so, no, it's cool. Well, speaking about little Brian, that's one of my notes here because he said something that I found really interesting that I wanted to get your opinion on, or just, whatever. So we were talking about, clubs and being in the club and not being in the club and other clubs we've been in. And we started talking about club tattoos. And then he said, he's all, I have, he has Forbidden Fantasy tattooed on his arm. And he's like, I got this when the club used to pay for tattoos.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's all, yeah. He's like, the club, if you wanted a club tattoo, the club would like pay for you to get the tattoo. And I'm
you'd have to get the tattoo first. And then we would be like, oh, yeah. Be like, oh, okay, you're down. So we'll pay for it.
Does that still apply?
Only if you get it on your forehead.
Well, I was going to get a blast across my stomach. How about that?
a belly tattoo?
Yeah. You know me, man. I'm kind
of like the male? Is that like the male tramp stamp?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't think so. Because the thing about a tramp stamp is, which in itself is, now that we live in this kind of new world, like that's a bit loaded thing. But anyway, moving past that, I guess one of those is more like, when a girl would get their first tattoo, that was a real accessible spot to do it because like you see it a lot. Stomachs are different. Getting your stomach tattooed is like, that's actually like a pretty and this is also kind of like a weird way to say it too. That's like, you just don't go get a stomach tattoo. Well,
it's like a prison thing too, like kind of like a gangster thing type thing.
If you would like to go to the roots of it.
Yeah, like their cities or like or whatever on there.
But I mean it more in the fact that like it just really, really, really hurts. Like it really hurts because like I have my chest tattooed and it gets pretty close to my stomach, and when it was getting down there, it was not fun. So that's what I mean. It's not like you just go get it on a whim. Like it's something you have to really kind of like really dedicate yourself to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, am I gonna get it paid for?
No,
damn it.
We got to show real dedication now. So you have to get it without the incentive.
Without the incentive, what does that mean?
It means you're not doing it just to get it
to get it paid for. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I actually thought about it. Like I was, me, I'm insane. We could get into the whole conversation about getting my head tattooed, but maybe we'll save that for another time. Brian is always when I was gonna get my hands tattooed, I remember going on road trips and I'm like, I'm gonna get my hands tattooed, and you're like, that's stupid.
It's
and then I was like, and then I went and got them. So
yeah,
that's our that's our dynamic. I come up with an idea, you say it's stupid, I do it anyway. And sometimes
that's
it's
because
stupid.
That's because you made a comment at my house, and this might be a little too personal. So if we need to cut it out, we'll cut it out.
Okay.
But you said, now people will look at me and won't say, "Look at that stupid bald guy over there."
Oh no, yeah, we could definitely talk about that because
no one's saying that.
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
But you are so worried about the way you look, your image.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
That's why I don't know if our YouTube viewers notice that I shave my goatee off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another part of it. So like you can't hide the fact that you're getting older.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to do things because you want to do them, not because you're trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I know you, the true you.
Yeah.
You are not a head tattoo guy.
You think so?
No. You are not you are not this like gangster dude that gets their head tattooed. You're doing it because you're like, that's just an image you want to portray.
Right. Well, I'm not shy about my insecurity about being bald. So yeah, I guess it is to mask those insecurities, which it's like you said that it's a touchy, like a personal subject. It is to a degree, but we talk a lot on this podcast about
and we all do things to mask insecurities.
That's true.
In different ways. My thing as a friend to you, I just want to let you know it's okay
to be
to
bald.
look, and it's okay to have gray in your thing.
I know.
It's actually like it's like you're getting wise. You're older. You're wiser.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I always
now,
thought that.
I will put myself out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
My head is getting thin. My hair is getting thin.
Yeah.
So I'm on my second night of hair treatments.
Oh.
Yeah. So
really?
because I've been looking into it, and they have these things where like if you start it early, then it will actually help. So I'm on this like prescription type thing, and Hims.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear it on all the podcasts.
Yeah, like all the podcasts. Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Hims.
No. And maybe we will be. You're like, look, I got this bald ass friend, right?
Yep.
If you bring back his hair, my God.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we're getting a little off track here.
Yeah.
We're talking about anyway, I just thought that was one thing during the club get together. I was like, oh, I definitely got to bring that up on the podcast about the tattoo thing, because like there are quite a few people who have tattoos in the club. I mean, I think that's just a thing. Like in our little culture, it's sort of like a thing that if you're into tattoos to begin with, like that's sort of where you kind of end up going. Everybody kind of almost gets a club tattoo, you know? Yeah. It also brought up this is the other side of it, the more sensitive side of it. It also brought up the fact that there are some people who are within this culture who have many club tattoos.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like that's the first thing that happens, which I guess I would be guilty of that myself, because I have my old club tattooed on me.
I was gonna say it's different than like the girlfriend tattoo, the wife tattoo, the name tattoo. Because we all know like that's like the cliche about that.
Yeah.
Is hold on, sorry. Sorry. The answer I just gave my buddy, he goes, let me know when you'll be able to get to that video, to edit that video. And I said, this is my answer to him. And I didn't realize I was doing it because I was like kind of listening to you at the same time. I put, by the end of the day, possibly this evening, but probably before.
Okay.
Sometime today.
Yeah, that meant sometime today.
But yeah, so like a club tattoo is like, if you get it, is it equal bad luck that you're going to get out of the club?
That was also brought up in this same conversation, you know? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did leave my old club and I did get that tattoo.
Yeah.
But then again, Brian got that tattoo and he's still in the club. There's other guys who are still in the club who have club tattoos. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what? It's all superstition.
There's there's definitely guys that have tattoos that are even no longer in the club anymore at all. There's a guy that was in the club. He was actually the president of the club for a short stint right before me, and he has the tattoo on his upper back, like between his shoulders. And then I just saw him post. I was like snooping around on something, and I saw his Facebook profile, and he's in the Mongols. So he has the Mongols tattooed huge, and then the little Forbidden Fantasy.
No way, that's awesome. He still has a Forbidden. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. I'm also, I don't know, I've never been in this position, but I'm also not the type of dude to cover it up either. Because like, you know, it was like, are you going to cover that up? I was like, no.
Yeah, I think there's the difference between like a ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband tattoo where there's a reason to cover it up, you know? And
there's really no reason to cover up a club tattoo.
I don't think so, because it's like I always look at things like chapters, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and the cliche is, one chapter closes, one opens. But when you get to where we're at now, there are parts of your life that just you had a great time and you don't regret that time,
right?
You know, but you changed, whether you changed your hobby, whether you changed whatever changed, you just don't do that anymore. And it could be hanging out with you. There's people that I used to hang out with that I don't hang out with anymore, but I don't regret that. Right. You know? Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's just, I don't know. Funny, since I guess we're on this subject, it's really interesting to see the world around you. So today was my kid's first day of school. And so we're doing the whole first day of school thing. And high school, right? Well, yeah, that's the older one. The older one was going to high school, but that one, they're old now, so you just drop them off and you're like, all right, see you later, you know? But the young one is she's in, well, I don't want to say, but she's in an upper grade, but not high school. Yeah. And
so we go to take her, but it's still a thing where you go take them to the classroom and stuff like that, which you do since they're like little kids. But I always find it fascinating when I get in that situation because I like looking at the other parents. I'm like, are we? Where are we at? Where are we at? Are we all the same? Are we kind of different? You know? But a lot of like everybody's tattooed. Like everybody's tattooed. That's not not a different thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, everybody's tattooed. Everybody's wearing like I wore this shirt today. Right now I'm wearing the club shirt with the Misfits skull on it. You know, so I wore this today. I saw other people wearing band T-shirts. It's like we're all the same. We're all coming of age. You know, and we're all the same. Which kind of like actually ties back into the whole like, you know, head and stomach and other tattoo thing. Because like now that everybody's tattooed, kind of want to be like a little different. You know, so like not everybody has their hands tattooed. No one has their head tattooed.
Well, being different is the new trend.
Right. Well, it's always been that way. I mean, that's why we're in a truck club.
That's not why. That's totally like, so being non-trendy is the new trendy. Yeah. Because now it's more rare for people not to have tattoos than it is for people to have tattoos.
That's true.
So it is now tattoos are now trendy. So what do? You go for the stuff that's like their hands, you see your face, you see the heads. That's just an effort to be not trendy. But that effort to be not trendy is now trendy. It because it's now like, oh, well, I listen to this music because no one else does. And well, now that music is trendy. Yeah. You know, oh, well, now I'm going to go and do this. Now that they sold out. They did this. They did that. You know, so it's like there is no like rebellion type thing. It's like mini trucking, right? You just mentioned.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's comparative, kind of.
So mini trucking, what do we want in mini truck? We want more people to drive mini trucks. Right. We want more mini trucks at car shows. But what if that just turns into why people, we've heard people say, C10's this, C10's that. And it's like, well, that's because more people are doing it. And so you can't have it both ways.
No, I understand. But also in kind of that same vein is that's like punk rock music is a big genre of music. There are millions of fans of punk rock, you know, but I think it's also, and this is where it ties into the truck stuff too, because like, yeah, I mean, we all drive mini trucks. We're all trying to be different, but kind of being the same. But we're still like a subgenre of a bigger thing.
Well, yeah, subgenre of a bigger thing. But I mean, even mini trucks, even full size trucks, C10s, anything that's on the ground is so different than the norm when you look at the whole picture.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so
how was Neptune's Net? Yeah.
Neptune's Net, as always, was really cool. It was a really cool event. This year was a little bit different, but different in a good way. Well, I don't want to say. Let me explain. Okay. So, it's still the normal cruise. This time we met up at a different spot. Last year, it was somewhere in Santa Monica. The meetup spot is kind of relevant, but anyway, made up in a different spot. Go on the cruise up from Santa Monica, PCH, up to Neptune's Net, have lunch. Leave there, go stop at this place called Point Magu, which is
this is the mini truck and takeover.
No. This is Mini Truck Revival.
Mini Truck Revival. Those two, I will always get them confused, but get the names because
they're very similar.
I get this is I guess it's accolades to Mini Truck and Takeover because they're so in your face on social media.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. Yeah. So, no, this is hosted by Mini Truck Revival, which was our guest Vic a while ago. So he puts together the event and he does a really good job of it. He does a really good job of organizing. This is a good way to put it. He does a really good job of organizing a non-organized event, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense, yeah.
Because we're not going somewhere and rolling people in and judging and, classing and stuff. It's still kind of like a free-for-all. Yeah. But it's like organized kind of chaos where it's like meet up here. Okay, everybody, we're leaving. Get on the road. Maintain, these vehicles on the road. Get to the next spot. So there's some organization in this chaos. And he always does a real good job. When I started this conversation, I said it was different this year. So the first year I went, I've actually only been to two. This is only my second one. It sounds like I've been to this thing like a whole bunch of times. But I've been to the Dockweiler meetup more than this one. So this is my second time doing it. But however, the first time I went, it was me, Jaime, and Ricky. Ricky, I was gonna say anyway. Ricky was with us, and so we were basically the only like three real, like there were other bag trucks, but I would say I don't know how to say this, like more modified bag trucks, I guess. Well, no, Jaime's wasn't even body dropped. I don't know. They were just like our type of mini trucks, whereas the trucks that are usually there are the 90s static drop, kind of race truck kind of trucks, So but this year, however, there were almost more body drops and our type of mini trucks than the other ones. There were still a ton of the other ones, and I might be, speaking out of turn here and saying, there could have been more of those, but it felt like there was a lot more than usual. So we had the freaks out there, huh?
Do you think that's that whole "if you build it, they will come" type thing? Because if you host something and you promote it, eventually it's going to attract more people. And he kind of promoted it to that scene because that's the scene he's in. But then with you going and making videos, and then
and I didn't want to sound like pretentious or anything, but I think my videos helped. I think us talking about it on this podcast to our audience helped out a lot, because a lot of comments that I got were like, "Hey man, this is so much fun. I saw your videos and now I'm here."
Yeah.
Or I heard you guys talking about it and now I'm here. Like I said, we had some freaks out there, a bunch of freaks actually. A bunch of freaks went out there. And was Sunset out there, a couple other clubs that I'm probably forgetting, and I apologize, but those are the ones. But I remember seeing a lot of freaks, and it was really cool because not only did the freaks roll out, but like Jordan Diaz, he brought his car out there. That white
300.
It's a 300, yeah. So he brought his 300. Felix from Freaks brought his van, that burgundy van with the Escalade front end. He brought that out there, and so it was really cool. Like it was really cool to see these like things kind of like merging together, and it was fun. The cruise was fun. Steve from our club rolled out there, and I got to give a big shout out to Ben.
Yes.
And I don't know his last name, but he goes by Skillset Ben on Instagram.
His last name's like it starts with a T. I know that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That dude is cool, and he's down.
He
left Phoenix. I asked him. I said, "Hey man, you coming out?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, I said, "When you coming out?" And he's like, I'm thinking about coming out Saturday. Staying somewhere and then meeting up, and we'll head out there. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds awesome, cool." So I hit him up like Friday night or actually Saturday. I said, "Oh, hey man, you on your way out here? Are you out here? What's going on?" He's like, some stuff came up. And then I thought the next thing was going to be see you next time kind of thing. But he's like, "Yeah, some stuff came up, but I'm leaving at midnight. I'll be there." And I was like, "Oh yeah."
I think I saw his story of him leaving when I was going to bed.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
He left about 12-ish. Him and his son came out. And he left at 12. And this is kind of funny because I said, "Okay, well, cool." I said, "Well, we're meeting up at this spot about 6 a.m. I'll see you there." And he's like, "I'll see you there." So I get up early to get going. And at 5:30, he's like, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, he's like, "All right, I'm here." And I was like, "Oh man," I said, "I'm barely leaving the desert. I'll see you at about 6:30. So this dude drove all the way out from Phoenix.
He was on time from 6 hours away. Yeah.
Early.
And
I'm up here 45 minutes away, and I'm like, "Okay, hold on."
Wait for me.
Yeah, basically. So dude, I got to hand it to him, and he did the whole cruise. And then he turned around, went right back home that night.
Yeah.
And he even stopped at another, I guess, I don't know. I'm not even going to try to recollect the details, but there's a big meetup in Phoenix that he was able to get back to Phoenix and attend. Hold on.
Whoa, jeez.
Hold on. That was our cat. That was our compound cat.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should show that cat, take the cat and show the other cat and say, "This is what happens when you act bad."
Get ran over by a chair.
And we put you in a vehicle out back.
Yeah. Oh, that cat. Oh, yeah. That was our compound kitty. The compound has blessed us with a new little kitty that I found under some boards. Anyway, I thought it was gonna be fine walking around here, but then it started climbing on my leg, and I apparently ran it over.
Oops. Oh well.
Anyway.
But yeah, so that was really cool. That I was like, "That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. You just go and come back."
Yeah. The guys. Yeah, you do that all the time.
Yeah,
and it was really cool. But I mean, to go all the way out though to the coast and then up the. That's a mission.
In a standard cab mini truck.
In a standard cab mini truck. with like because you know I went back and because I really wasn't aware of the build of that truck, and he's only put together that truck in the last I don't know for sure, but very recently.
Yeah.
So it was a stock truck. It was pretty banged up. I saw some pictures of it. The bed was pretty hammered and the fenders were pretty hammered, and he's built that into a pretty clean little truck, you know?
Yeah.
I like it because it fits like the style that I like, which is just a cool mini truck on some chrome wheels, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's got a lot of chrome. Have you ever seen his Antera collection?
Yes.
It's crazy. The dude is just collecting them.
Yeah. No, that was super cool. And
Yeah.
I even messaged him. I was like, my goal is to make it out to either Dockweiler or that thing in a mini truck. So hopefully that'll happen next year.
But it was really cool. It was really cool to see everybody out there.
That's what I was going to ask you. So the big line that is just on the side of the road up in Malibu, right by Neptunes Net, are you guys able to go in and eat and stuff, or is there too many people?
No, it actually works out really well. And that was kind of interesting in itself too, because like I ended up at the back of the line because like I was like stopping and filming people and you know, stuff like that. So I ended up at the back of the line. So we get there and there's like, and I'll try to find a picture. We could throw it in here. There's a line of mini trucks going up to the restaurant. There's probably 50 or more vehicles in line.
Yeah.
And so we're in the back and Steve was in front of me and he pulls over and I pull over and I'm like, the restaurant the restaurant opens at 10 and it was like 10. It was just right before 10. I was like, there's no way that parking lot filled up that fast. So I like booked it around and for some reason, no one went in the parking lot.
Really?
So we were all kind of like, we went around and we were all able to park in the parking lot. But yeah, everybody was able to eat and hang out for like an hour-ish or so. I realized this, and this is nothing against the cruise or anything, because the cruise is awesome. This is a more of a knock, I guess you'd say, on Neptune's Net itself. The food is kind of mid. It's like I went out there earlier this year with Matt, our friend Mini Truck Matt, and I got some fish tacos, and I was like, maybe just off, whatever.
The only thing I've ever gotten there is fried shrimp.
Well, and I think that's what you're supposed to get there.
I think,
you know, yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to get there. Cause like that's what I essentially got. I got like some fish tacos, but it was like fried fish tacos. And I was like, I think I'll get the shrimp this time. And like the one thing, and this is like a little side rant for me, is like, if you hand me a taco or anything like that, and it's got a cold tortilla,
oh yeah,
I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, and that's the thing is like,
you weren't far enough south for the warm tortillas.
That could be it. That could be it. But again, that's a Neptune's Net thing. But I guess the whole thing is like you go there. I mean, it was the Fast and the Furious thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's been in a lot of movies. It's very famous. So they're more pushing the atmosphere. Like you're here, doesn't matter what the food's like, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But still great. So from there, like I said, we went up to this other part. We used to stop at this thing, or the last time I was there, we stopped at this thing called Magoo Rock, and I keep on saying it wrong, Magoo Rock, and it's literally, it's like this giant boulder off the side of the highway.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because like the scenery is really neat, but it doesn't hold very many vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, since there were so many, we had to go down a little bit more north to this other like little like state beach thing, which had a lot more room, which was pretty cool. So yeah, the whole thing was really awesome. Like I said, Steve went with me, saw a lot of great people. I have a funny story.
Okay.
That came from this because when we got to the end point, we're hanging out. You know Yoda from Freaks?
Yep.
Okay, so he lives right there in Oxnard. He's like 15 minutes away. So he comes down, we're hanging out, we're talking, everything's good, and then we're getting ready to leave. He's like, "Hey man, I got to tell you something." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And he sounded kind of serious in his voice. Now, before I tell this story, I have to tell another story. Okay. So years ago, we were at a council run show right here by the pad, and it was when it was at Mojave Forks Park. It was years ago. We go there, we're having a good time. My cooler got stolen. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Have you heard of this?
I think I heard of this.
Okay, so my cooler gets stolen, and if you were to ask someone else, this is how they would tell the story. And my friend Dion always talks about this story because he thinks it's hilarious. So we're there having a good time, hanging out, doing stuff. And I'm like, "Where's my cooler?" And then we realize that it's gone, it's missing. Well, if you talk to anybody else, I like get all, so I'm like, and I get so pissed off and I leave, right? Which actually happened. But what they don't know is we were getting ready to go anyway.
Yeah.
And so like I just thought I was like, "Where's my cooler?" And I'm just like missing. And I knew I was getting ready to leave, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, whatever, it happens. And then someone says, oh, Frank is upset. I'm like, I'm not really upset. But I was like, what about if I was upset? And then I kind of like played into it a little bit and I got all mad and then I left. So everybody thought that I was like
that you
angry.
left. You left because of that.
Right. Exactly. And so this is literally years. This was many years ago. So for years, every time I see Dion, he always said, hey, remember the cooler and remember this? Because the other part of it is I had just filled it up with a 30 pack and it went missing. So years ago. So for years, we've been making jokes about this and laughing about it. Fast forward to just a couple weekends ago. And Yoda goes, hey, man, I have to tell you something. He's like, your cooler? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I took it. I'm sorry. And he goes, I'm all, what? And it was funny because Dion was right there too.
Yeah.
And I'm all, what? Are you serious? He's like, yeah. He's all, but here's the thing. He's all, I didn't take it like maliciously, or he's all, basically what happened was I was standing behind you. You were having a good time. So I thought I would just be funny and take your cooler and then just start taking some of your drinks, and just whatever.
Yeah.
But what happened was you went that way. I got distracted and went that way. And my buddy picked up the cooler and put it in my truck and then just forgot about it. And I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I use your cooler every single day.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. That is so funny.
Dude, I was like blown away. I'm like, no way. Because we've had this mystery and then after a while, like, we're joking about it. But then we like seriously started thinking about like, wait a minute, who would do that? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Because like everybody kind of knew that's my cooler, like they see me
it's also
around.
like a small truck run too. Like it's not like you have a bunch of like not locals in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a mystery, but now that mystery is solved. So
that is, I just thought so good.
Yeah, it was so funny, man. So anyway, so that was fun. That was part of the whole experience.
And
Darkweiler.
And now that's his ice chest.
It is, and he uses it every day.
Yeah.
And he's funny because he's like, I only live like 10 minutes away. You want to come by and like get it? And I was like, no, that's your cooler now.
One day,
Enjoy it.
now what he should do for Christmas or the next car show or Forbidden or something, he should gift you with a new cooler.
Yoda, if you're listening, I should definitely do that.
A Yeti. a Yeti. Though.
A Yeti. For my little $15 cooler, I'm gonna need a Yeti. That's like the compound interest on it.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So that was the Neptunes Net experience. It was a lot of fun. Vic, like I said, he puts a lot of work into it. Vic is a busy dude. He's got a regular job, and he has a regular job in which he travels a lot. So for him to still put in all this time and energy into putting on this event and the Dockweiler event and the end of the year event, I hand it to him, man. He does a great job.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So go check out it's mini truck _revival on Instagram. He always posts cool content. He has a lot of merch for sale too. So he's got t-shirts and pins and flags that he does. So yeah, go check it out and pick up some merch from him.
Yeah, and go to the event.
And go to the event next year. Actually, the next one will be Dockweiler. That info will come out at some point, I believe he told me.
When does that usually happen?
It's like the first weekend of October is usually when it goes down. Mm-hmm. So keep an eye out. Go again, mini truck _revival on Instagram. That's where you find all that information.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next year.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully you'll be driving something out there.
Hopefully I'll have my mini truck back.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be super cool.
This airs Monday. I will be on the road Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, we gotta do a post pod about that. Figure out all that stuff. Because where are you going?
So
is that a secret?
No, it's not a secret. I'm driving. I'm leaving here on Wednesday morning. So this got confused. So this is how it's working. I'm leaving here with the Titan and the trailer, driving to Dallas.
Right.
Dropping the Titan and trailer off at Sean's house.
Oh, this is the okay. This is the Washington thing.
Yes, and then I'm flying to Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea's flying from here to Washington D.C. because her cousin lives there, and it's her other cousin's little birthday. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna mess around in Washington D.C. for a day or two, and then she flies home. I fly back to Dallas, load the Tacoma up, and I drive back here.
Okay, I could not remember for the life of me what the scenario was because I kept on saying, no, he's going to Nashville. I'm like, no, that's like September.
That's the end of September. So
yeah,
this is. But the funny part is yesterday Chelsea was like, she's like, I thought I flew out on. She's doing an overnight flight, so she like 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then she doesn't land until like 7 a.m. the next morning. You all right over there?
No, I'm just looking at the calendar.
Oh,
So that's the 15th, right?
yeah. She takes off on Thursday, lands Friday morning. I got confused. I booked my ticket for Wednesday night.
Oh.
So I had to call American Airlines yesterday, and they booked it to the next day. So that got all
cool.
handled. Or else I would have just been sitting there.
Yeah.
With nothing to do.
In Washington by yourself?
Yeah, with also no car because I booked the rental car for the right dates, but not the plane tickets for the right dates. The lady on the phone was like, yeah, I noticed you booked at different dates. That was weird. I was like, yeah, I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. It happens that way.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we'll talk about that later. So, SLO last weekend.
Yes.
You tell me about that.
Probably top 3 events I've ever been to.
It looked cool.
It
looked really cool.
And I'm a little jaded on that, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it's because I was coming from the hottest month ever recorded anywhere in the world, basically. To we were freezing cold in the morning there, and neither of us.
Did you remember to bring us? You forgot your sweater?
No hoodie.
Oh,
no pants.
Oh man,
just shorts and t-shirts, and it was fine though because it was like cold, but then it got warmer, and then but yeah, so we drove out. We left here on Thursday morning, got out there, and Friday morning we woke up and drove up to Morro Bay and hung out in Morro Bay for the day.
That's cool.
And then drove over to it's at a golf course called it's a Villa or a Via. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's right just north of Pismo Beach. It's just a tiny, tiny little community that you would just blow right by. You went there last year when you.
That's what I was gonna say. So how is it in compare or not in distance to where it was before? It's pretty close to where it was before.
So you remember where you took shots of John Oro's truck? His
yeah.
That's where it is. That's
that's the beach.
That's a Villa Beach. Yeah.
Okay, so not far at all. It's like
no, it's not far at all.
15 minutes away.
Yeah. So yeah, and I even just stayed right there in the same, not the same hotel, but the hotel next to it.
Oh, okay.
That we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Friday dropped all the vendor booth stuff off, and they were all setting everything up, and they had basically hole 1 and hole 9 was where the show was, and then spectator parking was on 2 other holes, and like they shut the whole town down basically for this whole thing. Yeah,
that's cool.
And yeah, I didn't know how it was going to be, but man, spectator, there was 1,000 trucks there in the show.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was all on the golf course.
Because you had taken the picture, you said this is the view from the booth, and then I saw like the lagoon and that bridge.
Yep.
And then you showed the aerial shot.
Yeah.
And the show was really like the end of the show was really far away from that bridge.
And it was all hills, so you had to walk
up
and down hills. So
oh man,
it was really good, and they had amazing food there, which I learned, didn't know this. I learned that's where tri-tip originated from.
Oh, really?
Santa Maria.
Oh wow.
Santa Maria's right there, and you go to the store, you always see Santa Maria tri-tip.
I never seen that.
So like they have the seasoned tri-tips. If you ever look, they have Santa Maria style.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh yeah, so tri-tip sandwiches is like the big thing there.
You go because that's where it originated.
Yep. So
that's interesting.
It is, and so they had a gang of food vendors, like really, really good food vendors, and yeah, it was packed.
So how was the actual show itself, like trucks and that kind of stuff?
The actual show, it was just 1,000 trucks plus a ton of vendors,
mm-hmm.
And then they had the clubhouse, the actual clubhouse. So there was a restaurant there, so it was just really nice. And then they had a VIP area upstairs that you could, if you wanted to pay for, you could go upstairs and have free food, free drinks,
mm-hmm.
and you overlook. It's on the second story with a big old balcony, so you can like overlook the beach and overlook the show on both sides.
That's awesome.
And
that's one thing about. I'm sorry. That's one thing about C10 shows that is really cool. They really know how to add really nice like details. You know what I mean?
Some of them do that. Yeah.
There's
that group of guys that does that, because they also do the intervention up in Northern California,
mm-hmm.
and those guys do that. They go a little extra step above and those details, which is really cool. But Friday night after we dropped the vendor booth stuff off, Friday we just hung out in that Villa Beach in the little area there, and they had a farmer's market.
Oh, cool.
And so there was just like people gathering outside, and they were sitting around. They had a little band out there. This old guy was singing, like, and
cool.
Yeah, and people were selling fresh fruit because it's all just agriculture up there and all kinds of stuff. So we just sat outside with the beach on one side, the band down the street, and people just congregating and walking around and having a good time. And it was just really nice.
And like you were saying, you came out of like this 120 degree where you can't go outside. It must be really refreshing to actually be outside.
There was a lot of Arizona people there.
Yeah, and were they all thinking the same thing? They're like,
yeah. We could breathe.
We could breathe. We're not going to melt.
Speaking of being outside, we're going to a concert tonight outside.
Oh, you are? Oh, in Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So
that doesn't sound fun. No.
It's not that hot right now. Let's see.
No, it is. Yeah, it's actually kind of chilled out a little bit. Even here, it's kind of a little cooler. Yeah. So I'd imagine it's a little cooler out there, too.
Yeah, it's only going to be 102.
Oh. Well, you got everything is perception, right?
Oh, it's all well, that's up here. It gets a little warmer down there, so it'll be 106.
What's it like? A little like concert in the park thing or something?
No, we're seeing Offspring.
Oh wow! Oh, cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Simple Plan, Sum 41, and Offspring. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's a
total like throwback to like do you remember the karaoke game that they had for like Nintendo or something? It was like I don't know. We used to play it all the time, but it was all simple. So, that's what Simple Plan and Sum 41 remind me of, like super ultra poppy.
Oh yeah, those
music.
were like that like Sum 41, Simple Plan,
Hawthorne Heights.
Yeah, that was like the peak of like pop punk.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like it's awesome.
Yeah. So
the show was cool. The show was good.
Yep.
Do you have any? I thought I had some questions about the show, but I think we talked about it. I just was like, the biggest thing for that show for me was like the scale of it. It was just seemed really big, and you said 1,000 trucks.
Yeah, and
damn.
so where the vendors were, that you had the clubhouse that separated. You had the spectator parking, then the vendors, then the couldn't and then the show. So I couldn't see the show from where the vendors were. You couldn't see the show. You had to like walk over this tiny little thing, and then the show was right there. It wasn't far from the vendors. It was just the elevation changes and the trees. Like you just couldn't.
Did that affect you from the other point of view for us? Like, did that affect you like selling stuff? Like, did it seem like a little? No, it went good. No. Oh, cool.
No, that's because great. You had any spectators had to walk through the vendors to get to the show.
That's good planning. That's really good planning. That's how Mini Nats set it up, which works out really good because they have to come through that part to get to the show. Yeah, that's great planning.
Yeah, and it was just high foot traffic, chill energy.
Yeah,
and then there's only one way in and one way out of that place. So they had to cross that bridge, so they were lined up all the way from that beach town all the way to the freeway.
Oh wow, to get in.
But vendors, they were like, look, there's a vendor window between 5:30 in the morning and 6:30 in the morning. If you are not here by 6:30 in the morning, you have to wait in that line. But they were very like adamant and like everybody knew that. So you had a choice to make if you wanted to get up really early or if you didn't and you wanted to wait in that line. But it was flowing really well. So
okay.
Yeah, but they
did that give you kind of like a little like anxious to get going in the morning? Yeah, because you know how it gets.
Oh yeah, we were there super early.
That's good.
And Danny and Patty went. And,
oh, cool.
Yeah, he brought his truck out, and
he hasn't started. I know he's going to do a little revamp on that truck. He hasn't started it yet.
No.
Okay, so it still looks the same.
Still looks the same. Yeah, he's been busy doing everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, because you don't want to talk about it just yet because you said you wanted to put it together in a video about what you got going on.
I am, but we can talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Titan is not whatever color it was.
Wait, what color would that be? Copper?
Copper, brown, maroon. I don't know. It was a mixture of everything. But it is now white.
That's awesome.
And
I actually haven't seen a picture of it yet.
You have not seen it. Yeah,
no, you have not sent me a picture of it yet. I've actually been waiting quite a little minute to see this.
It is pretty crazy.
Oh, dude. Let me see. Dude. That's awesome, man. That is so
Isn't that crazy?
It's a brand new truck.
It's a brand new truck.
It's a brand new truck.
It's got a brand new front bumper, brand new headlights,
Dude.
brand new inner fenders. So I bought inner fender wells for it because it didn't have them before. Brand new mirrors and brand new taillights.
New headlights too, right?
Headlights, taillights, mirrors, bumper.
That's amazing. It looks like a brand new truck.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so bright.
That's got to be like a little bit of a what they call a mine F,
It is.
right? Because
Yeah.
like here you've had this thing for so long.
Yeah.
That's got to mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Especially going from the extreme. It wasn't like a dark to a dark.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a dark to a blindingly bright white.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so much white because if there's no side moldings on that truck.
Yeah.
So it's just this big flat piece of white.
That's cool.
So now I took this picture. I should have, by the time this video is out, I should have my I'm gonna make a video on the Titans or
That's
on the
so
Titan.
cool.
But this picture,
Are you gonna put these pictures on the YouTube?
yeah,
Okay, because these pictures you're also pulling the Maverick,
yes,
which looks cool.
I know.
That looks
look at
super
that.
cool. Oh, let's see this other one. Hold on.
If you notice a trend happening here,
Oh yeah, because the OBS is white Titan, and a white Maverick.
which now you know what color I have to paint the Tacoma.
Oh,
I'm thinking
that
about
needs
it.
to be red, dude.
No, I don't know. I'm really like Eric's truck kind of was like
Eric's truck his old truck, I should say, looks super
old
clean, white.
it's
yeah.
just clean, and
It
it's a good thing to where I could paint it white, rock it like that for a little while, and then go,
Add
okay,
graphics.
it's been white. Now I can just add graphics to it.
Yeah, yeah. I think white is a really underrated color for like
White and chrome.
Oh,
It's
the
just
combination of the two, white.
The
and chrome.
combination
Oh, yeah.
of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, no, that looks so cool, man. That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
More excited about that than anything else.
I know,
like,
right? Yeah.
Like then it was more excited, and I got to thank Danny,
Yeah, definitely.
Doghouse Customs in our club and Patty, she helped too.
Mhm.
They would send me pictures of them working on it and sanding on it and stuff, and what sucks though is now that I got to lie next to the bed.
Yeah, that kind of opens up now because now you got to fix the inside.
Now I got to do the seats.
Yeah.
Stuff I was gonna do anyways. But
Yeah, but
before
this pushes you.
yeah, because the outside looks shitty, so I was like, well, the inside doesn't have to look nice. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, now you open the door, you're like,
Looks like a brand new Titan. You open it up, you're like, oh.
oh yeah, whoa. Which also
dude.
the color combo is a trip now because it's got the gray and tan interior.
That's right. Yeah, it's got that two-tone interior.
Yeah, so it's just like, whoa. So
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
if I went and got gray door panels, the whole thing would be gray because everything else is gray.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, there's just this. The funny thing is I don't need the truck. It's just gonna go sit on. Well, I need it to go to Texas next weekend, but then after that, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It is kind of funny because that's you were telling me that you're going to have to put on the side, put a carc over it, and
yeah,
that's that.
that's
But
it.
it's still kind of cool, though, because like it's keeping this whole thing going because now I look at that and now I'm like, what can I do to my truck?
Now I look at that like I showed Joe Molina and he's like, we both at the exact same time were like, now it needs wheels.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, do I keep it lifted? And then when I was at Trey 5 a couple weeks ago, he's like, I still have all the brackets because he had a Titan when they first came out, and he lowered the front and bagged the back,
Oh, okay.
and it was super low. And he's like pulled it up on his computer. He's like, I still have all the stuff right here to cut all the to do it.
Bag the Titan. Dude, imagine
I'm
that. You have your Tacoma, the OBS, and then the Titan
Yeah.
bagged.
I was like, no, it's too much.
That's too much.
And they're all white.
And they're
No, it's too much.
you're developing a complex.
Yeah, I think like maybe in like 5 years, then maybe I'll do something. But there's no way I could do it like right now.
No, maybe keep it like that. I mean, it looks so freaking good.
I know. And
It looks
Titans
so
just
good.
don't, to me, in my opinion, don't look good static dropped.
I agree. Yeah, we've said that before. They either look
Yeah.
good lifted, stock, or all bagged
Oh,
bodied.
they have with big wheels.
Yeah, with big wheels.
Yeah, they have to be like, they can't just be small. Those fender wells are so big, like
Mhm.
they have to be big. So I'm just like, nah.
Well, that's the spice life. You can do whatever you want. I'm just happy we're keeping
yeah.
this shitty titty train going.
I know, right?
I'm
I'm gonna
just rolling.
I think I'm gonna title the video a 340K refresh because
Yeah.
it turned 340K when I was pulling into my neighborhood.
That's so
basically.
crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. That's exciting. Really excited to see that.
I'm trying to catch up to you because you got yours painted and you got your seats done. Now I got to get my seats done.
All right. I know.
Yeah.
I'm. You know what? It's funny how you focus on little things. I look at yours. I'm like, damn, my headlights look so bad. I need new headlights.
I know.
Because yours looks super clean. I'm like, oh,
They're not expensive.
I know. Yeah, actually,
So, like,
none of it's really expensive, really.
Well, I found a website when I was looking for the headlights were like it's carparts.com.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were super cheap. They were like
Look at that.
yeah, $150 for both of them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with the mirrors. The mirrors are a little they look nice and stuff, but now, they're power mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hit a bump, it's like they're not set in there as nice as the factory ones, that glass. So you hit a bump and it goes brrr.
Oh, really?
So everything goes shakes and I'm like,
I know that bugs you.
It does. It bugs it. Now it sucks because everything bugs me. It's like, oh, what's that? What's that
Mm-hmm.
noise? Oh, now I got to fix that. Like the headlight trim underneath the headlights. I bought 2 new pieces just to use the clips because you can't buy the clips separately. So I have to put them
you
on
have to
there.
buy the whole thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I know. Mine's making a power steering noise that I got to go figure out. I don't know if it's a pump or it's the rack or what it is, but yeah, it's little things.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Might be low on fluid.
No, that's what the first thing I checked was that, but it's not. So it's something more. I'm taking it the end of this week to the mechanic.
So,
but it's
Funny story though.
Uh-huh.
I thought I had a bad fuel pump or bad power steering one time, and it was my oil filter.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you should only use factory Nissan oil filters on this.
This is definitely in the steering because it's when you're turning.
Oh, it does it when you turn.
Yeah, but you know what it is? What another driving factor behind all this is, and maybe this is like we're getting too like deep into psychological stuff about it.
Yeah.
Is it's an old truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like they don't even make that body. When's the last body style for that? It was like
15.
15. Okay, yeah. So still now it's almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter which one you drive, it's an old truck. So now when I like pull into somewhere and it's all, I don't. I know it's an old truck, but I don't want it to be an old truck. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if you pull in and everything is super clean, then you just go, oh, that's super clean.
Yeah.
But if it's creaking and doing all this weird stuff, you're like, ah. So that's sort of like my driving thing. Which if you want to tie it right back to the beginning of this whole thing, insecurities, right?
Yep.
Right. So I want to put.
Yeah, because
I want to put a big.
You think people are judging you because that you're just like,
and
you
you're
pull
right.
in and it starts to creak. No one cares.
And that's what I was gonna say. No one gives a shit. But me, I pull in like, I'm like, oh, these people are like, ha ha ha! Look at that old asshole with his old truck.
Look at that bald guy with gray facial hair
driving that
old rackety truck. His life probably sucks.
Yeah.
That's your whole scenario you go through in your head. Like you create this entire thing where in reality,
no one cares.
Not one person said it. Yeah.
No one even bats an eye. But
No.
well. That's fine. Yeah,
That's fine.
So what? So we talked about all the shows and stuff. Did you do? That was the only thing you've done recently is go out to the SLO, right?
Yeah, we loaded everything in the Maverick, drove out there, which was really nice, and then so I had the trailer already at Danny's. So like,
because you planned that already because you took.
Yep.
You took it. You took Joe's. Yeah.
So had the trailer out there. Yeah. So just went to Danny's, backed it up to the trailer, loaded the. I had 2 straps fall off on the way home.
Oh no way.
The front straps. I didn't. So I just strapped to the wheel on the front wheels, and they must have turned because you put them in a spoke and then you tighten them, and sometimes the wheels you put pressure and the wheel can turn.
Mm-hmm. And
I saw the things fly, so I had to do that. That was a little eventful, but yeah, that's it.
That's
and
awesome.
What's next though? What shows are next?
So a couple things because I'm trying to be more proactive. Like I've said this before, is when people like come to us and say, hey, check out my show. Like, and I said, well, the least I can do is like talk about it.
Yeah.
So we have the Sunset Cruise Night again out in Phoenix. That's coming up, I believe next weekend. Hold on, dang it! I wrote it down, but I didn't write down I'm getting there. I'm getting there, man.
So the cancer show that we're going to, Dave McGouty, I always say his last name wrong, with the cancer Nissan.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah. He put it. So I was like, send me some cliff notes because he's coming out for it.
Oh, he is, and he's bringing his because he does the metal work. He's Rose Metalworks, right?
No, he's not. That's
sorry.
Sean Rose. Dave is
my
the
bad.
yeah. So Dave, and he even put a little parentheses how to pronounce his last name, Mick Cotti.
Okay.
Spreading the love. So they're both involved in that. Sean Rose and
That's why
him
I'm
are
getting
both
them
involved
kind
in
of like
Spreading the-
conflated.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Spread. So I'm just going to read what he sent me real quick.
Go ahead.
Because he will be here for the cancer show because it all ties together. So he's driving from I think it's Tennessee or North Carolina, one of the states he lives in. So he's bringing the truck all the way back.
That's awesome.
And it's the quad cab Nissan
Mm-hmm.
with the regular bed and stuff. So Spreading the Love nonprofit and crew cab hard body is making its way to Victorville for the Cruise into Cancer show. 4,000 miles round trip. Show dedicated to Tyson. Last year he had Tracy's name added to the list for a memorial plaque and never said anything. He sent me a picture of it. He's talking about Shane. Shane had so Dave's wife had cancer. She passed away from it.
Yeah.
And Shane had Tracy's name added to the list of memorial plaque, and he just did it. He sent me a picture of it and said he was mailing it out in a day or two. His grandma's name is on the truck. His wife's aunt's name. So all on the truck, he has names of people.
Right.
Like it's like a rolling memorial wall. Yeah.
And so he's coming out. That's awesome.
He's coming out.
That's
and
really
he's in
cool.
no regrets. He's in no regrets. So they just, Tyson just passed away from a battle with cancer, and so yeah, this whole show is like it's
well,
for a good cause.
the show it's sort of more evolved into the cancer show, but the original intent behind the show was Shane's mom battled breast cancer and survived. She survived. She's doing well. She's still with us. And so she survived that. So he dedicated this show. Well, actually, the very, very, very first show was to raise money for his mom. And so we called it the breast cancer show for a long time, and it sort of evolved into this now thing, recognizing everybody who's been affected by cancer, whether have battled and not survived, and vice versa, and even people who have helped people deal with it. So yeah, it's really turned into a neat thing, and it's really evolved over the years. For many years, it was over at this almost I'm gonna mess this up, but it was almost like a UTI technical university, but different. Anyway, it was a campus here in the high desert in Hesperia, and was there for a long time. And as it grew, like all things do, he had to move it and find a bigger venue. So now it's at the fairgrounds here in the desert in Victorville, which is a neighboring city. And yeah, he's done such a great job over the years putting it together, and he puts so much dedication into it. Shane, who we've had on the podcast for a little bit, is a really passionate guy. And when he puts his mind into these projects like this show and like the Havasu Meltdown show, I mean, he puts his everything into him. So he does a great job.
Yeah. And it's
you're
going to
coming
be
out?
And I'm coming out. And they moved it to now it's at the fairgrounds, right?
It was at the fairgrounds last year.
Yep.
But
now they're doing inside, outside type stuff.
Inside, outside. And what's going to be really interesting about this year's show is it's from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be in the middle of the day where it's hot and stuff. It's going to be it's going to be cool. It's going to be like a bit of a different vibe,
Are you doing a booth or anything?
I am doing a booth.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it would be, I had this wild hair at my butt while we set the table up. Get there early since it's in the middle of the day and set the table up kind of in between the booths or something and have the microphones and just do random interviews with people.
I love it. We should totally do that. Yeah.
Because I think we'll have enough help there to where we can walk away from the booths.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean? Angie will be there, and are Glenn and Kim coming up?
I'm pretty sure they are.
Which is good because they're probably listening. I got your wheels still, so I need to get you your wheels.
Yeah, so I think that would be kind of cool, and we're gonna have all the podcast stuff there anyways because we're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little which we're kind of winding down this episode, but we'll talk about it in the next episode. We're kind of gonna do another little marathon. Yeah, we are as far as podcasts are concerned. Yeah, and it's my birthday weekend, and it's your birthday weekend. But so we're gonna do what's that? We had to let Steve down about the pajama party. Steve ain't partying; he's just talking. He's just talking crap. Yeah, he's gonna get because that was kind of the funny thing is like he was like, yeah, man, we're gonna go to Frank's house, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have fun, and then you said, the show's over at 10 p.m. right? Yeah. I bet you he's gonna be like, oh man, all right, well I'll see you guys later. Yeah. He'll plan the whole thing, and then you'll say, yeah, there's a party, we get together at my house afterwards, and he won't even show up. Right. Yeah. And then we got a few people from the club coming. The twins are coming down from Lindsay. Yeah, that's going to be cool. I don't know if they're coming down. They'll probably be coming down Saturday, I would suppose, since it starts later, but we'll see. Yeah. No, I think it'll be a good time. And then, we have the first of the 3 guests
confirmed for Sunday. I just got to
Oh,
try
cool.
to get the last two. But we're going to have to probably have a backup for one of them. But anyways, we're
We're
going to try to do...
We'll talk about it in the next episode because it's going to be a mission. We're going to cover some
It is going
ground.
to be a mission. It's
cover
not going to
some
be
ground.
like when you came out here.
No.
No. This is going to be pump and dump.
All right. No. All
All right. We got to go.
Well, all right. Yeah. So, we'll we didn't do any dropping in this episode, but we'll get to that next time.
Oh, yeah. We'll have... we have a ton of questions that we will answer on the next episode.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, well, we don't have a giveaway thing yet.
No.
No.
I just emailed Seth over at Switch, and I was like,
Hey,
hey...
we're gonna have that soon. However, I got new stuff. I was
gonna say, did you do your shirt yet?
That's
put it
happening
out there?
today. We're recording on a random day and last week from when this episode. So it's on the website right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I got two new shirts on the website. Go check them out. One is inspired by your video, which I guess we'll talk about later or talk about now.
Yeah.
I don't know. One was inspired by your video. And then another one, which is one of our older designs in a new colorway. So
cool. And I have artwork in the works. I just got sketches today and sent sketches out. Yeah.
nice.
So
things are moving.
Things are moving.
Things
They're
are
going to
moving and
start to
shaking.
move faster because I've got 3 pieces of art in the works. And then I'm going to talk to you about doing some Stay Low stuff on some different color shirts.
Cool.
So yeah, buy
Also,
yours. Yeah.
this guy has dropped 3 videos since the last time
yeah.
we've talked.
I was
like
going to
this.
say, you're going to run out of stuff to post.
No.
Are
I'm
you
still
worried?
behind.
Are you worried about that at all?
No, not worried. Because I still have, let's see, since we last talked, I uploaded LST. We knew that.
Yep.
But I've uploaded the Forbidden Fantasy Show and Mini Nats.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 brand new videos on our channel. Go check it out. We still have Rolling the Red Rocks coming up. I'm working on Havasu Meltdown right now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of a quick little one. By quick, I mean probably around 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing too long, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, man, I don't know what happened a few weeks ago or whatever.
Oh, I know exactly what happened.
What happened?
You didn't have softball.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Guess what starts next week?
Softball.
Yeah, so no more videos. Sorry, guys. Yeah, you're right. That is a really strong correlation, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That Frank can only do one thing at a time.
I'm very, very singular track.
You imagine if we had real jobs. I was talking
know.
to Chelsea about this the other day. I was like, we have these things that wipe us out, but other people do those same things and also have 9-to-5s Monday through Fridays, and it's like, yeah, we have a 9-to-5 kind of like, but at the same time, man, you wouldn't even see us if that was the case.
No, I know. Yeah, but oh well, it works out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get this. So softball starts next week, so I'm gonna get this Havasu video out, and then sorry, about the Rolling the Red Rocks one. That's gonna be.
I know. I've got to jumble mine around too.
Someone said when I dropped the Forbidden video, one of our good listeners said you were pretty much right on, because he went back after I dropped that video. He went back to the podcast where we were talking about Forbidden.
Yeah.
And I said I will drop the video in 6 months. Jokingly, it was 6 months. Well, it's like
That's
five
funny.
and a bit. And he's like, dude, you were almost right on.
And you made it seem like we were dropping the FFF24 show info.
I know. I confused the crap out of everybody, dude. I seriously got a dozen messages. Like,
I
where's
got
the info?
messages. They're like,
what's
hey.
happening? I know.
Did I miss it? I'm all, no.
I buggered that one up.
Which we should actually have that info any day now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I've been pushing them. They're kind of lagging. So
That's great. Well, cool. Well, lots of exciting stuff. Thanks for tuning in this week's episode. See ya.
episode 67 is out.
67.
Done.
Bye.